Hey guys, Tim here, aka SBF21, bringing you the draft recap for Season 10 of the Sunny Shore Battle Federation. This is going to be, I believe, my third season in the SBF. Season 1 I did the National Dex Singles Draft. Season 9, or my second season, I did the Low Tier Draft. And this season I am going back to the National Dex Singles Draft. So, let's think. I was number, I believe, 9 of 12. I believe we are with 12 and I was third from last, so number 9, yeah. And we had 110 points and we needed to draft exactly 11 months. Keep that in mind because that's going to be important for later. It may or may not come on the quiz, so keep that in mind. 11 months. So yeah, I was number 9 in the draft and I was not really planning on drafting anything because I was far in the back, so I was just hoping something nice would fall to me. And to my surprise, one of the best draft mons wasn't picked by the first 8 coaches, so I decided to pick up as our number 1 Pokemon for this draft, Dragapult, aka Deadshot. This is possibly the best draft Pokemon there is. It does have 5 weaknesses. But it also has 2 immunities and like 6 resistances, so that's pretty decent. The thing that makes this thing so awesome is that it can be a mixed attacker with 120 in attack and 100 in special attack. A 142 speed stat is already incredible. For example, his minimum speed is 260. Compared it to max speed of Cloyster, that's 262. 262. It's base speed, so if you don't do anything about it, you don't. You have just regular 31 IVs and 0 speed EVs and a neutral nature. This thing hits 320 speed. Hisuian Arcanine maxes out at 306, for example, and that thing is already base 90 or 95, I believe, so that thing is speedy AF. With its speed he can also, and his many resistances and immunities, he can also be a good support mon. It can set up screens, it can Will-O-Wisp, it can Thunder Wave, so it has enough options to support a team. It can go for a fast U-turn for damage and priority for good momentum. It has both Quick Attack and Sucker Punch as priority moves, which is great. All things that make it great. It can face things out with Dragon Tail, of course. T-Wave and Willow I already covered. Screens I covered. It can set up the Sun. That's also great support for my team, as you will find out later on. It can set up with Dragon Dance. It can use Curse. Doubling its speed with agility might be a bit overkill, but still. And because this is a ghost type, it can reliably block rapid spin Pokemon. And this, of course, is my start for a Dragon Fairy Steel Core. And I decided to go for the Steel type next, and I saw one of the most annoying mons to prep against, and that is Celesteela, aka Juggernaut. I mean, come on, I've been playing this mon a couple of times and I just can't seem to draft to prep decently against it. It does have incredible stats with almost 100 around the board, except for a speed stat that's a bit lower. This thing can be offensive with autotomize and just hitting hard with 107 special attack. It can be defensive with leech seed and iron defense, I believe it got, yes. So it can be, oh, spoiler alert, boost its defense, autotomize to double its speed. So yeah, this thing is always very annoying to deal with. With Beast Boost it can slowly run out of control if not dealt with, and with just the two weaknesses in fire and electric, this thing is very hard to take down. So I'm very happy we got this on the team. Yeah, okay, the fairy type next is kind of spoiled already, but we get Kylie back, aka Screamtail. Screamtail is a great wish passer with 115 HP and with 111 speed. It can go for wish pass and baton pass afterwards to see what's best to switch into, because you know if the opponent is switching or not. It can set up stealth rocks, and after 3 picks it already completes my Dragon Fairy Steel Core, which I'm glad to have already. And this mon is again annoying to deal with 115 HP, 115 special defense, 99 defense. Yeah, very hard to break down. 65 attack and special attack are not all that much to look at, but still it's something very annoying to deal with. So with my Dragon Fairy Steel Core basically drafted, I decided to start with my next core in my head, but it all went a little bit different because I drafted a water type, but not really what I wanted for the water fire grass core, but we'll get there when we get there. For now my water type is Quaquavel, aka General. To tell you a bit about why I chose the nickname General, in my first playthrough for it, Scarlet and Violet, I chose as one of few, I believe, Quaxley, and I was thinking, or I had heard it was going to be a water fighting type, so I was like, oh cool, this is going to be like a soldier or something, so I named it General, not knowing this would turn out into a dancer. Still, Quaquavel is a great setup sweeper with both Moxie as an ability and Aqua Step as a speed boosting attack. It gets Rapid Spin to get rid of hazards on my side of the field, which is great. It can get knockoff for support. It can have both Aqua U-turn and not Aqua. I got Aqua Step in my head now. Looking it up, Flip Turn, thank you. It gets both U-turn and Flip Turn. It gets great coverage, so this is a great mon to have on the team, but again, it's not that bulky with 85 HP, 80 defense, 75 special defense, so this is not going to be the water type, or at least in my head, for the water, fire and grass core. That will come later. For now, my 5th pick was again in mind that I wanted my 2nd core done, and I was looking at the board, and at that point I started to think about my Terra Captains. We were allowed to draft up to 3 Terra Captains. They couldn't go over 13 points, and with all points combined you can't go over 25 points. So I was looking at the board what would be a great Terra Captain, and I saw a fire type that I really liked as a Terra Captain, and that's Hisuian Arcanine, aka Caldogo. Yeah, For the people who watch my NBA movies or films or YouTube thingies, they know I have a Zacian that I have named Caldogo, but this thing may not be a Zacian. This thing is still a powerhouse with base 115 attacks that it can already hit damn hard. Base 90 speed is decent, but not all that great. It still gets a agility for setup. Intimidate is great to have because lowering attack stats for your opponent is always nice to have. But it also has Rock Head, so recall damaging moves won't do any damage. And this thing has 2 incredible recoil moves in Flare Blitz and Head Smash. So both will not do anything. I can say it's banded and just hit incredible hard with it. It has both the Terra Fire and the Terra Rock to boost both of those moves. But I can also go for banded extreme speed with Terra Normal. And you please believe me, that thing hits like a truck. So you better prepare for it. And looking at its stats, with his lowest stats being his defenses at base 80, he does not have a single bad stat. So very happy to have drafted Caldogo in my ranks. And for number 6 I went to complete my fairy water or my fire water grass core. And that is going to be with Arboleva, aka Olivia. Like I said, it is completing my core, and this thing was decently bulky with base 90 defense, base 109 special defense. I've seen other Draft League players like PokeAim use this thing very effectively with Assault Vest. It can also go for a harvest set with Citrus Berry and just keep harvesting your berry back for almost infinite recovery. It gets some decent coverage, and yeah, at this point I was drafting very top heavy, so a lot of costly mons with high cost. So Arboleva with just 6 points was a great, just a great deal in general at this point. At this point, I am still missing a few key Pokemon that I wanted to draft, or key, whatchamacallit, key. No, I can't think of the name right now. I wanted a fast electric type, so I went for Sandy Shocks, aka Sandy Cheeks. If what I was thinking of comes back to me, I will tell you, but it's whatever. Sandy Cheeks here is another one of my Terra Captains. Arcanine cost me 13 points, this one cost me 11 points, so I have 1 point left for a Terra Captain. Good to know again. This is a fairly fast electric type with decent coverage. It can set both Stealth Rock and it can set Spikes. So, and I think this is a great Terra Captain as well, because electric hits a lot of things very nicely. Oh, damn it. And the things it doesn't hit nicely are either electric, which I can hit with my ground step, grass, which I can hit with Terra Ice, ground, again, Terra Ice. Anything else I don't hit particularly well? No. It's just grass and ground that I normally don't hit well, and electric, but those are all covered, so With Scream Tool and with this, Sun is also a good option to run, because I can go either bulky with my Kaylee, or this thing to run a speed or a special attack set and just try to sweep in the Sun. So options enough for me. At this point I wanted still a grounded poison type, and I still haven't drafted a dark type, but missing a bulky water type was still something I hadn't forgotten about, so I went and drafted Cloyster, aka Bivalve. Looking at its HP and special defense stat, you will say this is not a bulky water type with 50 base HP and 45 base special defense, but his base 180 defense begs to differ. I mean, this thing is very physical bulky, and yeah, something I really needed. It can set up all hazards if I'm correct, if not he lacks toxic spikes. No, he can set up stealth rocks, okay. It can set up both spikes and toxic spikes. It can rapid spin to get hazards away, and I don't think I have to tell you, Cloyster is a great shell smash sweeper with skilling and either icicle spear, rock blast and pin missile. It can hit all those moves 5 times and just obliterates at +2 speed and +2 attack. So another great mon to get here. And for now, the last mon I drafted was Tropius, aka Bananasaurus. Yeah. At this point I needed that 1 point mon because I still had 1 point left over for my Terra Captains. So, and this thing is a demon if you ever play Ren Bats at Showdown, or also known as Random Battles. This thing is incredibly annoying to deal with Harvest, Leech Seed and Protect, Substitute. This thing is hard to get rid of on the field. It can be offensive with Dragon Dance, it can defog, so it's checked a lot of boxes, and yeah, just a great mon in general. So, like I said, this was normally one of my last mons. So, thank you for watching, and hope to see you soon. Okay, now to see who paid attention. How many months did I have to draft again? If you said 11, you were right. At this point I had 9 months. Well, basically not completely true. I had 10. I drafted Hisuian Quillfish I had drafted Hisuian Quillfish somewhere around before Cloyster. And I was like, okay, I'm done. Great. Because I hadn't read the doc. And if I had, I would have seen you need to draft exactly 11 Pokemon. And me, with my dumbass, was thinking I can draft somewhere between 9 and 11 Pokemon and it will be good. And I couldn't. Because that's against the rules. So I had to drop his Hisuian Quillfish in order to draft Skuntank, aka Pepe Le Pew. Why did I go for Skuntank over the Hisuian Quillfish, besides the point thingy? Or why did I go for Skuntank instead of the Hisuian Quillfish? Because Skuntank does things fairly the same as the Hisuian Quillfish does. It's a grounded poison type, so I can get rid of hazards. It is a dark type against prankster users. it does get... Does it get toxic spikes? I think it did. It does. Which is nice. It doesn't have the regular spikes, but that's whatever, because I already have another mon that can set up. No, I have 2 mons that can already set it up. I have more knockoff and taunt users, and honestly, it did pretty well for me in low tier. So let's see how well it works in regular tiers. This left me with 3 points more to spare, and I was looking at the 3 points, and I saw absolutely nothing that I liked. Well, I saw a few things that was like decent, but nothing really stood out to me. So I was looking at the 2 points and I thought, well, why not I go for Spidups, aka Spoderman. Why did I go for this? Easy. Sticky webs. Having a fairly bulky mon being able to set up sticky webs is great. It can have stakeout, so if anything switches out, it does double damage when it hits something, and first impressions are stab, so very clickable move there. It does have good coverage. Only thing really keeping it down is, well, a bit more HP and a bit more speed wouldn't hurt it. Furthermore, this thing is very good. And because of sticky webs, I can more easily sweep with Hisuian Arcanine, because speed is lowered and Hisuian Arcanine can outspeed, well, not instantly and every mon, but a lot of mons. So that's already great. And yeah, with other things that want to set up, this thing does great. And the last reason Spidups was chosen, look at that type count. I have a completed bingo card. Yay! That's so awesome. First time I believe I have every type covered in my draft. I do have a few weaknesses. I have 4 fire weaknesses and 3 fire resists. I have flash fire on Hisuian Arcanine if I want to, but I'm not sure if I want to. I have 4 ice weaknesses against 3 resistances, but 2 of those ice weaknesses are Terra Captains that can Terra out of their ice weakness. 4 flying weaknesses against 3 resistances. Again, one of those flying weaknesses can Terrestrialize out of a flying weakness, so still good. 4 rock weaknesses against 2 resistances, mainly annoying for stealth rocks, but I do have a spinner in Quaquaval and Cloyster. I have Defog on Skuntank and the Tropius. And boots are a thing in this gen, so not all that worried. Looking at my stats, pretty decent HP stat. Normally I kinda neglect those, but with 5 above 90 HP, still decent. I have some great physical attackers in Celesteela, Dragapult, Hisuian Arcanine, Quaquaval, with Cloyster and Skuntank still having a high physical attack stat. Defensively, I have Cloyster, I have Celesteela, which take hits pretty well, Screamtail almost 100, Sandy Shock's almost 100, Arboliva can still take physical hits decently. 4 hard-hitting special attackers with Hisuian Arcanine, with Quavel and Cloyster still being pretty high up there, and even Tropius with 72 can deal some damage. Special defense I have plenty with Arboliva, with Celesteela and Screamtail being above 100, and Sandy Shocks, Tropius both. Oh, and split up's also able to take some special hits. I have ordered it in special attack, which I normally don't do. Normally I have speed. Looking at my speed stats, I don't have that big of gaps. Besides Dragon Ball to Screamtail, that's almost 30 points, so not all that great. And between Skuntank and Cloyster is a gap of 14 points. Not the worst, but yeah, it's doable. And below from Tropius to Arboliva is 12 points, but that's not a place I'm really worried about speed. So this is going to be the team for this season. I am really looking forward to it, and I hope, yeah, what do I hope for? Playoffs, and maybe do some great things in playoffs this time. We'll see. At least I thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you all at week 1 of the SBF. See you then. Bye.